Hey y'all, Jim Pankey here with something fun that I've been wanting to try. And so I've partnered with Stuart McDonald, stumac.com, to do a tailpiece shootout. And they were kind enough to send me some tailpieces to try. And all of these three tailpieces are made by Prucha, and they're super nice quality. So there's the Kershner tailpiece, and then the old classic Clamshell tailpiece, very cool, and the Presto tailpiece. Now I know this banjo has a Presto on it, but I wanted to try the Prucha Presto in comparison and let y'all hear the differences in each of these. I think it'll be fun, and we're going to use same gauge strings, same brand strings through the whole process. I'm going to have new strings every time, so you know you're getting the sound of the banjo. I'm not going to change the bridge or the setup of the banjo. I'm going to leave the Brian Hooker bridge on here. The head tension, I'm going to leave it the same. Hey y'all, if you like this sort of content, this is something that you enjoy, definitely be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment. Which tailpiece did you like best? And also, if you want to help the channel grow where I can do more stuff like this, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get notifications when I post new stuff, ring that bell. Oh, and by the way, I'm not going to show you the process of how to change a tailpiece. I've done that before in a previous video. This is just a shootout to give you a chance to hear what each of them sounds like. Fair? Good. Factory Presto. It's the Prucha Clamshell. This is the Kershner from Prucha. And this is the Prucha Presto. And before we talk about each of the tailpieces, I would like to give a huge shout out to Labella strings. I'm using the 730 PXL LE set each time. So each time we got a new set of strings because I wanted to be fair. Here are my opinions. The easiest one, in my opinion, to deal with, to restring, and seemed to be the most stable when I was tuning up, setting it up, was the Kershner. It seemed to offer maybe just a tad of bass response, which was pretty cool. And maybe you noticed that in the audio sample, and maybe not. And maybe that was just something that I heard as I was dealing with it. It's also the least likely to develop a rattle. There's nothing on this thing that's gonna rattle. And it's adjustable, so you've got some play with this one. One of the first decent banjos I ever had came with a clamshell tailpiece. So this was a blast from my past, and it's by far, in my opinion, it's the prettiest one that I put on here. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful tailpiece. It's not likely to rattle, but man, it's got a stout spring that you fight with to hold it open and to loop your strings on those little holes. So it's not gonna rattle, but I found that to be a little tricky putting strings on it. But I'm sure if I were to restring this a handful of times, I would totally get used to it. This one seemed to have the most overtones, the Clamshell. I noticed a variety of extra little ringy overtones when I was playing. You may have liked that in the sound. I found it intriguing. I kind of liked it. And finally, there's the Presto. Now, this is the original one that came on the banjo, and it behaves the same way as the Prucha version of it. The Prucha is a little heavier, and it seems to be a little louder. Maybe that's from the weight. Of the tail pieces that I put on here today, these are the ones that are going to be most likely to develop a rattle. And what I usually do is I'll take a little piece of leather or felt and put on the inside, and that way when you close it up, it doesn't rattle. So definitely consider that if you're using that. The other thing with the original one that I noticed is it has little divots for four strings, because, well, they were originally used on 4-string banjos, tenor banjos. And the Prucha, I don't know if we can show you that or not, but it has divots for 5. Now, they both have hooks for 5 strings, but it has divots, which makes the strings line up a little neater. And that's the one I'm going to leave on here for a little while. I'm real tempted to go back and try the Kershner, and I may do that the next time I change strings. I'd like to give them all a really good shot. There you go, folks. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope this is something you enjoy. Again, huge thanks to the folks over at Stuart McDonald. Y'all are great, and thanks for being part of this project. And again, a shout out to LaBella for providing strings for all of those tail pieces. All right, folks, we'll see you soon.